when I moved to North Carolina, I printed like 1,000 business cards, and at the bottom of the business card wrote professional race car driver.
Jimmie Johnson joining us here in the Freak Nation. And Jimmy, I got to be honest, I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. And to this freaking day, I misspell your first name as a Y for Jimmie Johnson versus Jimmy. I know it. How many times does that happen to you still to this day, Jimmy?
So many, obviously. And honestly, I had a heartbreaking moment with the Y being on my name. My very first die-cast car, I was so excited for it to come out when I was in the Busch Grand National Series. And we approved the imagery for the car, and it had my signature on the top of the car. But the outside of the box, I didn't know what it was going to look like. And sure enough, in big block letters, it's Jimmy with a Y, and I was heartbroken. And then to add to this, I've been able to meet Mr. Johnson a few times. And the most recent time I met him, he said, "Man, you're messing things up for me." I said, "Really? Why is that?" And he said, "Well, for all these years, everybody spelled my name correctly. And then you come along, and now occasionally I get an IE on the end of my name."
Right.
So I felt good about that.
I just want to, I mean, it's just my personality, but I want to correct people in tweets. It drives me crazy.
Hold on one sec. You're going to love this.
Uh-oh.
What's going on here, man?
He's going back to the secret room.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to get another bite of that steak.
That's right. Interrupting Jimmy at lunchtime. Uh-oh.
My helmet bag, right? So
Right.
for the weekend. And this is how they spell. Oh, there it is.
Oh!
I just saw it. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Look at that home, my family.
Your own team. Wow.
Yep. But hey, I've
Holy
been called
cow.
way worse, so I'll take it.
Well, yeah.
Are you
All right.
named after somebody in the family?
Not in the family, but yes, my dad's close friend I was named after. His name was spelled Jimmie.
Wow. So you opened the door for this, Jimmie Johnson, as one of your biggest fans. If I was a gambler, I'd be a millionaire now. All the times that I said you were going to win the championship. But you opened the door to the Busch Series. And whenever I think of you in the Busch Series, I think of you dancing on the styrofoam blocks at Watkins Glen.
Yeah.
After 7 championships, you got a better dance step than what you displayed that day?
Yeah, that was quite a day. What's funny is the next year I came back, there was a guy driving around in a pickup truck with pieces of foam that were broken up and selling them, saying this is the foam that Jimmie Johnson hit. And I was so excited, I thought the guy might give me a free chunk of foam. And he didn't believe me that I was Jimmie Johnson, maybe paid $20 for a block of foam. I have it framed and it's in my office at home. I was like, I got to have a piece of this. And who knows if it was really from the wreck or not, but I have a piece of foam.
So the guy was trying to make money off of you and didn't know who you were. Yeah, right.
Not a clue. Oh, yeah, sure, you're Jimmie Johnson, $20. I'm like, all right, fine.
That's the best. Well, Jimmy, a lot's changed from your NASCAR days to now IndyCar. And I read something about you completely changing your workouts even. And you are that guy who carries a hand grip.
Whoa.
Yeah, the grip strength these cars, required to drive these cars, is out of control. When you get in your car, if you have, it's not a push button car, just turn the ignition on and feel the weight of the steering when the steering wheel unlocks. That's no power steering, and that's what these cars have. And the faster you go, the more force that you put through the wheel, and curbs, bumps, all the little indifferences on a track, that kickback requires quite a bit of grip strength. So it's been an eye-opener to me, the intensity and the physicality of the IndyCar.
How long did it take you to get used to all the monkey motion of the open wheel car right there by your front feet? Did you get used to that right away?
No, I'm still not used to it. It is it's so foreign to me. To be able to see my tires, if I could see my tires in a NASCAR vehicle, I'd hit quite a few things. So it's way different.
Is there anything that translates from either NASCAR days or off-road days, or let's just throw Supercross in there as well?
Very little. And I know at some point the worlds will come closer together for me. And I experienced this from off-road to stock cars. In the beginning, stock cars were so foreign, but then eventually I learned how to drive them, and my dirt background showed up for me in NASCAR. And I feel like that moment will happen here. It's just so hard to get the seat time. I've had 10 days ever in a stock car. 5 of those were full test days. The other 5 days are little 45-minute practice sessions and a short race that you have. So I need more laps, and it's tough to be a rookie in this era of time. One, through budgets and the teams and sanctioning bodies being aware of the expense to go racing. And then the COVID era has taken a toll on rookies as well. And although I'm 45 years old and not a rookie in many minds, it is a totally different world for me.
You brought up being a rookie. You brought up the craziness going from stock cars to IndyCar. And there was the quote several weeks ago how Danica had to bite her tongue going from IndyCar into NASCAR. Do you think she would have bit her tongue now, Jimmie, given how far we've come in society, the recognition of women in sports, and women can speak up without recourse? Do you think if she said something today that there would be as much blowback as there would have been back then?
Well, I think society is evolving and changing, and I'm not sure it's where it needs to be yet, and I'm not sure it's equal. As a father of 2 daughters, I hope that world is very close by. I don't think it should matter gender, color of your skin, your beliefs, and should affect your opportunities in life. So, the world is evolving and changing. It's great to see that. So I'm happy for the progress, but I still think we all know there's a long way to go.
How educational? Go ahead, Steph.
Has there been any hazing for Jimmie Johnson? Your 7 championships, when you get into the garage, a lot of drivers say, yeah, prove this, kid. Any hazing going on?
Dixon put student driver on the back of his golf cart the other day. So I still owe him. Thank you for reminding me.
The good news is you still have tires on that golf cart. I'm sure you heard the stories from last year. I mean, but Tony Kanaan is your co-driver in this car. Come on. Carvana is completely safe because Tony is the biggest prankster in the entire pit area. So you've got some good mojo on your side, I would think.
I do. And what's wild is Dario and Tony both have told me stories of pranks they've pulled off and are encouraging me to keep this tradition alive. And I can't imagine putting so much effort into a prank. I mean, they're pretty extensive.
Yeah, cutting apart Tony Kanaan's $10,000 Trek bike, that's a prank.
Yes, I'm surprised that didn't go to blows. I'm surprised they didn't end up fighting on that deal. Wow.
Jimmie, growing up in Southern California and the off-road days that you had, was there a strong desire to get into open wheel prior to stock car, or was it just whatever can help put food in my mouth and eventually in front of my family at the time?
No, for me, you're absolutely right. I mean, being on the West Coast, Rick Mears, Roger Mears, Robbie Gordon, all those guys transitioned from off-road racing into IndyCar. There were IndyCar races nearby. Cal Wells with his race team, started and established in the area. That was my focal point. And to my surprise, the manufacturer I was driving for and guided me through my career so much was pulling out of IndyCar. And I went to Long Beach Grand Prix for one of my meetings, thinking that I was going to have a Trans Am ride offered to me. And then hopefully after that would be Indy Lights and then IndyCar. And when I sat down on this meeting, they said, look, we're pulling out of open wheel. And if you want a future in motorsports, you need to move to the East Coast and figure out NASCAR. And not long after that, I had a one-way ticket to North Carolina and been there ever since.
Oh my goodness. So this whole IndyCar thing. Oh, by the way, this is how we do interviews at home. This is awesome. Henley Jimmie. So your path was going to be open wheel. It changed obviously with Toyota pulling out. But Jeff Gordon was the one, if we read through all the stories here, Jeff Gordon kind of mentored you once you got to NASCAR, right? And then he was the one that helped push you through in your career.
Yeah, he did. I was very fortunate to have quite a few help mentor me along the way. And when I go to the off-road days, having the Herzogs help me race in the Midwest in their off-road truck in the late 90s, They bought the ASA team that I drove for. They then bought and started the Busch Grand National team that I drove for. And then, got a fly buzz in the tower here. And then that's when the conversation happened with Jeff Gordon. And that's through their Busch program is how I was able to race Jeff and be noticed. And so grateful for many steps along the way. And just people believing in me and giving me that chance.
So where I'm trying to go with this is people, the last several years have been crazy for so many people, especially the last year with COVID and people losing their jobs. You have a focus about what you think your life is going to be. And then suddenly, that's not going to happen, whether something's pulled out from underneath you or another change happens. But you still make things happen because you were still passionate about motorsports and you still surrounded yourself with the right people and things still went forward. I think it's a great story.
No, I appreciate it. You're right. I mean, there were many in motorsport as a driver, doors are closing all the time, and you have to figure out how to separate yourself from the crowd. And literally, it's going to sound kind of cheesy, but it was very effective. When I moved to North Carolina, I printed like 1,000 business cards, and at the bottom of the business card wrote "professional race car driver." I would go and sit in the restaurants where the team members would eat lunch, show up early, pass out business cards, collect business cards. Back then we were faxing one another, and I would have all of the post-race press releases faxed to these team managers and just worked it. I didn't have a sponsor. I didn't have the money to go racing, but I had money to buy business cards, and I made sure that I was always top of mind to people. And in the end, I feel like it helped them look my way versus others, those key moments.
Wow.
Jimmie Johnson, that sentence opens up a lot of stuff. You bought a one-way ticket. You had a lot of confidence. And a lot of guys in your position, when they get to North Carolina, they'll sweep out garages, sleep on floors, on couches, the whole couch surfing thing. Did you have enough confidence to go beyond all of that and to launch this career anyway?
I believed in myself for sure. I didn't know where it was going to take me, but I honestly, motorsport has been such a passion to me that if it didn't mean I was a driver, I felt like I would be on a team somewhere, that it wasn't a dead end road for me. And, I had made this decision to travel, mid to late teens, and it's probably 18 or 19 when I left home to move to North Carolina. And I was all in. I was going to find a way to make a living in motorsport. I'd hoped that it was being a driver, but there weren't any guarantees. So
wait. 7 championships later, you could honestly say that you were prepared to do something else other than drive? What in the world could that have been?
Yeah, you just never know how it's going to work out. I mean, what's really interesting and kind of helps prove my point, although I don't think you want to believe me, and I'm joking with you, is in the rookie class for my Busch Grand National Series Rookie of the Year, Rodney Childers was one of the rookies I was competing against. And Rodney has turned into a multi-time, Cup Series champion as a crew chief.
There you go.
He wanted to be a driver, but he's there as a crew chief. So you just never know where your opportunities are going to take you.
Wow.
Jimmie, let's wrap this up. What's it going to take to get you in the Indy 500?
Of course. You got to throw that out there, huh?
I'm surprised it took this long.
Yeah. Hey, you've known us long enough.
Right. No, there is more of an opening than there ever has been. I think the next realistic step is to test on an oval and see what that experience is like. Watching the crashes that have happened since the aero screen has gone on, I think we all see the impact that it has and just how much safer it's made the sport. So, that puts me in a window now where I'm willing to try one on an oval by myself and see what that experience is like and take it from there.
And you realize if you ever do that, and I'm just going to assume that you would win the Indy 500, you would then need to become a Formula One driver and then win Monaco. I mean, because you want to get the Triple Crown eventually.
I love where your head is on this. I do. But I think there's too much gray in my beard for an opportunity in Formula One.
Well, it would match the color scheme on the Mercedes car.
Oh,
The silver arrows, you'd fit perfectly.
I should keep my optimistic point of view that I had when I was young. I
Boom.
bring up a great point.
Right.
I need to keep that work ethic going. I need to get some more business cards and head to Europe and pass it on.
Damn. greatness.
I am a race car driver, I promise.
Jimmie, it's always fantastic. You take time to join us here in the Freak Nation, buddy. Good luck to you. We'll see you later on down by the track. All right, bud?
I appreciate it. Thanks, everybody.